So social media is is revolutionary in communication, but I think it's good news for agencies for two major reasons. First, even though it's growing very fast, it is still very young technology. In fact, who knows in 2 to 3 years from now if some of the sites that we showed you will be the major sites. Remember a few years ago when MySpace was the big place to be? Today, it seems like it's Facebook. So the internet's very young. In fact, there's actually not much out there for case studies yet. Everything you hear about ROI is really anecdotal. The guy who called the agency because he saw their Facebook page, or the old high school friend who got in touch with his insurance agent's friend on Facebook to buy insurance. There's really no intensive study out there yet, which is good news because, again, there's still time to get on board and to start. Most people out there who are considered to be social media experts, in particular in this industry that you hear on panels, have been working with social media for maybe 2 years, maybe 3 years at most. In the book Outliners, written by Malcolm Gladwin, he notes that it takes about 10,000 hours of doing something, of practicing something, to become an expert at it. So do the math. For the past 2 years, unless you know someone who has been working on social media for about 14 hours every day, even on the weekends, for the past couple of years, they are probably not experts yet. Enthusiasts, yes. Early adopters, yes. But true social media marketing experts, probably not yet. We still have got a little ways to go. There are people who are starting to emerge as true experts. However, I think we're still early on and we have a lot of learning to do. Second reason I think there's good news for the agency system is because social media is technology that truly expands what they are at their core. We always talk about agencies being relationship-based, and when we are talking about social media, we are talking about enhancing relationships, keeping in touch. But there is also a warning here as well. I think there is a misunderstanding that a lot of people have about technology. That's basically when things go wrong, they want somebody to come in, plug in a box or plug in a new piece of software and make all their problems go away. Social media doesn't quite work this way, and as a matter of fact, most technology doesn't. I'd ask the question, has it worked this way for you? Or is social media more like this? Do you just get in a car and hope it propels itself and you to some destination? Or do you think it's a tool that takes your talents and gifts and helps you extend it? Now, if you've got in a car and you didn't know how to drive it and you figured out how to push the gas pedal down, start going down the road, you'd probably go in the ditch. You've got to learn how to drive that car before it can propel you or get you somewhere. I think social media is more like this. It's more like a bicycle. What a computer is to me is the most remarkable tool that we've ever come up with, and it's the equivalent of a bicycle for our minds. That's a quote from Steve Jobs. So basically, I think social media is like a bicycle. We have to learn how to ride it. We have to work at it to make it get us somewhere, but it definitely amplifies our power and our strength to make us more efficient. I bet most of you, when you first started learning how to ride a bicycle, probably used training wheels. And then after you got a little better at riding that bicycle, maybe your dad or mother took one of the training wheels off. So then you learned how to ride it with only one training wheel. And then that training wheel came off, and pretty soon you're riding it with ease. And then after a while you got brave enough and you started riding it, let go of the handlebars maybe a little bit, or maybe popped wheelies and things like that. I think social media is the same, and there's a term around here that I use with our employees, and I call it crawl, walk, and run. And that is whenever we adopt a new technology or some new process, we first will crawl with it, go slow, learn how to use it, learn the best methods for using it. Once we get comfortable with that technology or whatever it is, then we'll start walking, moving a little faster, learning it better, and pretty soon, before we know it, we're running and breathing free and using it most efficiently. So again, I think social media is more like a bicycle, and we've got to learn it, work with it, and take it slow. I don't think it's something that any agency can just jump in head first and be successful with. So focusing down more generally about social media now. So social media is not just about social sites like Facebook, MySpace, or LinkedIn. It's a large and ever-expanding array of ways for people to connect, communicate, and share ideas and other information. There's all types of social media sites out there. You can see my background here. I have just icons from just a few social media sites that are available. So what are some of the different types of social media sites? Well, there's blogs, and blogs is somewhere where a person or organization can go in and type in their thoughts, ideas, or articles, or just information that they'd like to share with others. And in most blogs, those will get broadcasted out. People can subscribe to them, kind of like a newsletter, so they can get updated. And in a lot of blogs, people can go back and comment as well, and comment on the blogs and share their ideas about the ideas of the people that are blogging. There are rating sites where groups or communities of users can go and rate different products, items, ideas, books, whatever it may be. Forums are sites, and actually forums have been around for quite a while. Forums are areas where people can go post questions on certain topics and get answers from other people in the community. Basically, kind of like a self-help or community help forum, kind of like a user group, where you can go out and ask questions and other people can answer them. And actually, most of the major agency management systems have been hosting forums for some time now. Most of you are probably used to logging into your agency management systems forums. They have different names for them, but they are forums where you can ask a question and other users of the management system can help answer those questions. Answers are usually pretty helpful, not always 100% right, but usually pretty helpful. And different community sites. Community sites are areas where people with some sort of a common interest get together. It can be somebody from a physical community, say like a town who has a community site, and they use within that site various social media or what's called Web 2.0 tools to communicate and share with each other. Or it can be something like an agency management system community where users of the same software get together and do similar. Information sites where there's, basically social media sites where just information is shared. Audiocast, kind of like a podcast. And video casting is also a type of social media. And then online marketplaces where you can go and share ideas and buy things as well. These are all different types of social media sites that are out there, and there's actually probably more than I even have the list. You may be able to think of a couple to yourself. So what are some of the uses of social media? Well, obviously the first one that comes in mind for most people today is sales and marketing, especially when it comes to a business or an agency. Hey, how do we use social media to sell more stuff, to market out to new and potential customers? The biggest thing about social media, however, is relationship building. Through relationship building, we can get more sales and create more marketing. Another use for social media is recruiting and hiring. A lot of businesses have used social media for recruiting and hiring. Now, I'm not going to click on the link here. There is a link included here on recruiting and hiring, and it's a link to an article that talks about about 70% of employers today have rejected candidates, job candidates, over their online info. So when you download this presentation, you can go here and click on this link, and you'll go to that article. And basically, that article talks about how young folks today really have to be careful about what they post, or really anybody out there using social media today, what they post about themselves and others on social media sites, because employers or potential employers are going to those sites and looking them up and finding out more about them. So they really have to watch about putting anything embarrassing out there, because their resume may look great, their interview may look great, but when they go out and see what they're posting on the internet may not look so great, and they may be passed up for that position.